more sales, leads, appointments off Meta ads as an agency owner really for me came down to scroll stopping ads, okay? And for the longest time I was using formulas, I was using other people's ads, I was funnel hacking, and I mean, I was doing all right, but I never really was able to get past the $50 or even $100,000 a month. And what I'm going to show you today allowed me to grow my agency to $2 million a year, automated, travel around the world with my wife and my kids. I now live in Panama, and I'm now going to be sharing everything that I've learned on this journey since I began back in 2017. So everything that I'm going to share with you over here is completely comprehensive, and it's really a crash guide on how to start running ads that actually turn into sales, right? No more looking at the competitors and wondering, oh, well, what are they doing? How come their ads are working? How come my ads aren't working? And a big part of this comes down to exploiting this metric over here, the CTR All, and I'll get into that in just one sec, okay? So bear with me, stay with me. This is going to be very, very valuable for you, okay? So what's the marketing game all about, okay? Attention. And I put this over here because it's very interesting, right? In English, we pay attention, and I speak Spanish as well, and in Spanish, you lend attention. In either case, pay, lend. What do those words remind me of personally? Money, okay? Attention is money. So here's the thing, we're not just competing with others in our industry, but with the marketplace as a whole, okay? My first agency that I grew to 7 figures, that agency, before automating it, was working with roofing contractors, okay? Now, I'm not just competing with other marketers targeting roofing contractors, no. I'm freaking competing with everyone that targets roofing contractors. So, tools brands, shingle companies, software companies, equipment companies, they're all competing with me for the attention of that one roofing contractor. So we got to understand, how is it that we can make our ad stand out? And the first part of an ad is stopping the scroll, okay? Again, it's getting the attention. Just like this video over here, right? You decided to click on this video for a reason. There was something in the thumbnail, something in the title that grabbed your attention, which is why you're here. So let's break down the anatomy of an ad so that you understand how things work. Okay, so as I scroll down over here, what's the first thing you saw? Well, scientifically speaking, you first saw this, then the next thing people see is the headline, and the next thing people see is the hook of the body copy, and then they read the rest of the actual primary text. So it's in that order. Creative, so whether that's the video or the image, the headline, and then the hook. All right, so if we are to focus on anything and making it really darn good, it's going to be the creative. That stops the scroll. I think that's very, very important because a lot of these programs that even I was in back in 2016, 17, trying to learn about agency, they just gave me templates. They never explained to me. They never explained to me why I'm running ads the way that I am, why I'm looking to say this in an ad, why I'm looking for this, that. And we're going to dive into this really deeply over here, okay? So stay with me. If you really want to crush it in the marketing world, man, you can't just be a freaking business owner that's making money off marketing. You got to get into the mindset of being an actual marketer. That's one of the things that I realized that I wasn't doing. I was just a dude trying to make money in the marketing industry. I didn't commit to being an actual advertiser. So here's the thing, right? This is the the CTR All trick, all right? CTR All, I'm going to give you an example over here from one of my ad accounts. You can see over here, this one has a low click-through rate. That's what it stands for. CTR stands for click-through rate. Now the click-through rate all is the metric that tells us how many people are actually stopping to scroll. The higher the scroll stop, the better. Now here's the thing, the best cost per lead that I have that's actually turning into sales is not on this one, which is the highest, it's on this one. And I'm going to break down exactly why that is, why that might be that not the highest click-through rate all is getting the best leads. And in some cases, you'd even have the lowest click-through rate all that gets the most leads. So I know I'm flipping the script over here a little bit and it may be confusing, but just bear with me. I'm going to explain everything right now. But let's just focus in on scroll stopping power, okay? That's really what this metric tells us. So if you're ever wondering if your ads, why aren't they converting, you may want to look at the click-through rate all, because that tells us what the scroll stopping power of the ad is. And here's how we can increase, go from here to up here. All right, the first thing is vivid colors. All right, take a look over here, right? This is an ad by Masterclass. This is very vivid, right? You see the red, you see the different tones, and the black just stands out. It's very bold. Change your brain for the better. This is another little subtle thing that I want to share with you, is that each line stands on its own. Right? That's one thing in copy that a lot of marketers don't understand. Right? If it were to say change your on the first thing, and it's going to be like, what, change your? What does that mean? and then if it just said brain in the middle line or brain 4 in the middle line, and then the better, it'd actually be better distributed text-wise if it had 2 words per line, but they didn't do that. It said change. Oh, that stands on its own. Change what? Your brain. Okay, cool, my brain. For the better. You see how each line stands on its own, but I don't want to digress too much over here. See the next thing over here, you can see these ladies over here standing with the red dresses on. That stands out in the ads. Then you can go with odd or unexpected things. But this is the one that I would caution against, because oftentimes, and this is where I'm going to tie in the higher click-through rates but the lower conversion rate, is that you may have some dude, you know, flexing his abs, or some hot chick, or, you know, some dude, like some TikTok viral video that a lot of people I'm seeing are putting in the beginning of their videos. They get an insanely high click-through rate all, but it doesn't relate to their actual content, the actual ad. And so the actual outbound click-through, which is when people actually click on the link, that's very low. And I can get into outbound clicks in a later video, but right now we're talking about stopping scroll. All right, over here you're going to see this and you're going to be thinking, okay, what is this? Me, a mom of two ADHD kids in 2025, nagging 24/7 because I hadn't tried downloading June yet. Right, so it's like kind of this FOMO, and like, oh, you're kind of silly for not doing this, but it's the Mona Lisa not looking very smiley, right? It's attention grabbing, right? It makes me wonder, what does it say over here? And it looks very organic. It doesn't look like an ad. And that in itself is a very interesting proposition, which is like, hey, I'm making ads that don't quite look like ads, because the platform is there for us as agency owners to create content that people want to consume, and people, generally speaking, don't go to Facebook to consume ads. But if we can mask our ads as content and informational, that can be very, very helpful or entertaining. See this over here? This makes you stop. Like, wow, she's sleeping in like a duvet or a blanket made of ice. What does that mean? So wish you could sleep cooler. You can see how this is definitely, it's an AI image, it seems, but it's attention grabbing, right? It's a different concept. You have someone sleeping, you wouldn't expect them to be sleeping underneath ice. Okay, the other thing is that faces. This is one of the ads that I'm running right now. It's got a really good click-through rate, and it's doing really, really well. In fact, I didn't show it over here in this series, but you see ads like this, they're bold, they're striking, they've got a face. It's also kind of got some unexpected element to it. So that's what we can do to ultimately increase our scroll stopping power. And as I mentioned, right, guys, there's a catch over here, that you got to make sure that you're getting a point across clearly in your actual attention grabbing image. Like over here, it's clear that it's about keeping you cool. Over here, it's clear that it's about nagging kids and getting through that. This isn't clear on what it's about. Maybe it's about fitness, but this over here is a better brain, and it's got the brain in it. But you don't just want to have an unrelated image. And as I said, a lot of people are just kind of putting these TikTok clips in the beginning of their ads, and they're getting really caught up on the metric of the click-through rate and trying to stop the scroll, and they want these high numbers, and they're getting really cheap clicks. But as a result, their conversion rate's really low. So you want to balance the two. You want to balance the fact that, hey, I want to have something as attention-grabbing as possible, but I want to make sure that it actually converts, that it actually gets the point across of what I'm trying to say. Right? So if you're running ads for your agency, you want to get through the idea that, hey, I'm going after this problem that my prospects face, or I'm going after this desire that my prospects have, or I'm going after this thing that's intriguing, but it's about the world of my prospects, right? We don't want to just throw in a bunch of stuff that's unrelated, because yes, the CTR All metric, which I mentioned up over here, is very, very important, right? But it is ultimately a vanity metric, and that's why this 5.51 click-through rate all is actually doing better than the other. So this is an ad that I'm running for one of my clients who runs a e-commerce agency. So it's a marketing agency for e-com brands. And one of the things is that this one has me in it. It has a face in it. It has me talking and my hands doing this over here, and it has the headline of what we actually provide in it. So it's a good thumbnail. It's a good image. It's stopping the scroll. It's getting conversions. But the reason this one, I believe, is getting more conversions because it's talking directly to a specific kind of e-commerce brand owner saying, hey, Shopify. And so as soon as someone sees that ad, they see Shopify, they're like, hey, I should probably check this out because that's related to me. It's the same thing if you're in roofing contracting. You should get some sort of an image, some sort of imagery that's about the job site, that's about the roofing contractor, that's about homeowners, that's at the door of a home because they knock doors a lot, or shingles that are breaking apart. Same thing with chiropractors. You want to look at what they're seeing. Right? Show imagery of what they're seeing. That's a very big hack that I learned in actually being able to do ads that stop scrolls, is going deep into the avatar research and realizing that, man, this is what my avatar is seeing every single day. Let me put that in my ads. Right, a simple thing that I recommended to one of my students recently was that, hey, look, you're running ads talking about ceramic coating. Why don't you actually get in front of a green screen and then in the background have like a Porsche or a car being ceramic coated? Because that's something that these ceramic coating installers actually want to see. They don't just want to see a dude talking as a head, making promises. Show me, right, instead of telling me. So that's a very strong rule that I've incorporated into my advertising, which is show not tell, and you can use that to increase your click-through rate all as well. And if you want to actually talk with me more on a group call setting, I do these free calls in my school community. The link is in the description and in the first comment of this video. You can get on. I have weekly calls. You can also chat with me one-on-one. Every single person that joins the school community right now will get a free one-on-one strategy, no strings attached call with me. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you want to see anything else. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.